Hi everyone. My name is Pritha, and I'm a program manager at the Public Policy in Action Praxis Residency Program. We have with us today Gauri and Shruti. Shruti, why don't you introduce yourself first, and then we'll go to Gauri.
Hi everyone, this is Shruti. I work as a program manager in this program, so that's all.
Okay. Hi everyone. I'm Gauri. I am leading the PPIA Praxis residency program. I mean, when I am introducing myself, I'd also like to introduce the program a little bit. Um, Basically, I have been working with fellowships with respect to like where we place young people in within the public administration, particularly in Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, MP, and UP as part of our ongoing initiatives at Transform Rural India Foundation. And one of our critical reflections from our time in running multiple fellowships, and now in India, there are more than, I don't know, I'm losing count of the numbers of similar format of fellowships that exist. And what we wanted to do is also to see how we can add value to the time that young people spend in various within the public administration. How do they understand how our country functions, and most importantly, how the government, like poor people, are disproportionately dependent on the government. How do we make sense of all of this? How do we have develop a certain curiosity with academic rigor? And I think that's where we started with the Public Policy in Action Praxis Residency Program. And I'm joined by Pritha and Shruti, who have been very interested and invested in this course, and have sort of built up this program from ground up. So hopefully this video presentation helps solves a lot of your questions and burning issues that you might have about the program. And if not, we're always here to to listen to you and hear from you. So yeah, over to you, Pritha.
Thanks, Gauri. Thanks for the brief introduction to the program. I'm going to probe you a little bit more, and let's just and going to start with one burning question, which is why does India need a different kind of public policy education today? I mean, when we look at the program and going back into kind of a lot of things that you touched upon into your introduction, I thought this would be a great way to start our conversation.
Yeah. I think, see, like I said, like a lot of the work that we do in TRI has come from our reflections of running fellowship programs over the last, since 2018. With the Aspirational District Fellowship, and then subsequently the Public Policy in Action Fellowship. And we have also had a similar engagement with Bodoland Territorial Council. So one of the critical reflections was that, and for us, this format has a twin objective. One is to augment state capacity and build systems and processes within the government systems that help translate the impact of very critical high impact programs, and get them to deliver at the last mile. But the second objective was also to capacitate and build a cadre of young people who see the impact that public systems and public system strengthening can have in the most underserved geographies of our country. So from there, and at that time, we did explore a lot of academic partners, because this was also like, as much as we saw that, of course, like I mentioned in my introduction, that we are trying to give a certain meaning and kind of build curiosity among young people around these subjects. But more than that, I think it came as a demand from the fellows themselves, where they were keen on building up, and they saw the value of the insights that they were getting from their experience in the public administration. And we were looking at credible academic partners, and who can attest value to this. And right now, very kindly, Hindu College, Delhi University has agreed to be our knowledge partner in this and co-deliver this program. And this comes as a very a refreshing change in how we view public policy education in the country, where we are basically asking to flip the script, that if you want to learn public policy, get your hands dirty, go to the field, go to the most undeserved, marginalized, resource constrained geographies, and see what and look at it from a systems perspective. Look at it from the perspective of the public administration, the public administrators, how you can influence them. And it was like, for the way we had thought of, uh, it was a very organic development, because nobody was talking about, at least when we started the program, nobody was talking about the praxis methodology, which is basically, and I think Shruti can explain that more. But the fact that there is a body of knowledge that can be developed from the experiences that fellows have in the field. And not only that, but there's also requires a strong capacity building of fellows on the ground to be able to deliver and to be able to meet the expectations of our stakeholders, particularly with respect to the communities that we serve. So like in this is so We didn't see an offering like this in the larger, I think around, there are more than 130 courses in public policy that is available in India. We didn't see something that was heavily practice based. There are often, it's mostly 70% in the classroom, and maybe 30% is more like a immersion kind of, like that is how usually public policy courses work. But that wouldn't work in our context, where we are practically dealing with the day in and day out of like the regular business processes of a district administration, for that matter. So it came from that thought. But we have also sort of and Shruti can add on to it, because she is dealing with the academic part of the program, and as to how we are envisioning this. And yeah, over to you, Shruti.
Yeah. No, so building up on what you said, so what we have realized is that, I mean, I've personally been involved with 3 cohorts and have understood how they work in a district administration. And what we have realized is that India's public administration has its idiosyncratic challenges, which are particular, as well as you can generalize it in an Indian context, which, if you look at the historicity of India's public administration, it happens because of the way it is structured by colonization and how resources are divided between, let's say, the state, center, and concurrent list and things like that. But what it translates into is that often departments working in silos and impacting the last mile delivery of programs. So definitely this program, the larger vision is to state capacity strengthening, but also to provide the learners or our professionals with the academic empiricism that is needed in state capacity strengthening. And to do that, we have realized that often public policy frameworks have to be contextualized to India's specific needs and specific challenges. And this context-specific challenges, and to do that basically, because in TRI as well as our fellowship programs, the idea of placing young professionals in these settings have generated a body of knowledge which is essentially tacit knowledge of working at the district administration. And this program, the larger vision is also to formalize this tacit knowledge. So the structure of the program is to do all of it, which is to situate the experience of our learners working at this administration within academic frameworks and to contribute to the larger discourse of public policy and thereby bringing a paradigm shift of sorts. But to do that, we have a solid program structure in place of 2 years, which is also of 2 years because we realize that's at least the amount of time it takes to understand the district, to think about what is the urgent and enduring problem, and how to design an intervention that sets up the systems and processes at the unit of a district to tackle that problem. So, based upon this problem-centered approach, we have sort of made the program for 2 years and also divided it into 6-month semesters, which we call practicum. And the idea is that the learner goes to the district, takes first 6 months to just understand what is the district. So to do this, we administer reflection papers, which are these prompts, which helps you understand your position in the system as well as the system in itself and how you're relating to that system. So you understand the district, what are the resources, what are the problems that are enduring and urgent. And so that goes your first 6 months, which is the diagnosis. Then in the end of the 6 months, you think of an intervention, which can be done to tackle the particular problem, which is enduring and urgent in the district. And you develop this intervention based on the systems and processes and policies that are in place already in the district and how you can leverage it to tackle the issue. So our learners have worked in the themes of public health, livelihoods, and local governance, gender mainstreaming, etc. And what we have realized that essentially what we do is we equip them to pick up these public systems and to tackle the bottlenecks through systems and processes in place and to also streamline them. So that is the first 6 months. So then you basically develop a solution to that problem that you have articulated, and you implement that solution. So that's that's the next 1 year that you do that. So that is also divided into 2 semesters or practicums. And in the last 6 months, you articulate the impact or your learnings of the intervention. So that is our practicum of impact evaluation and communication. In all of it, in these 2 years, we hold periodic 6-month in-person classes. So every 6 months we bring our learners and we deliver courses on public policy management as well as on the context in which public policy and administration is set up in. And also we have virtual classes and seminars that is supposed to give you a policy perspective, an essential lens through which you can see the issues of district administrations, of development, of social policy, and much beyond as well. And all of it happens with an understanding. Our third course, a very important course that we have realized, is also adaptive leadership, where the learners understand themselves in there and relate themselves to the systems in place and understand and this relation between the self and the system and how you can adapt your style of working to navigate and negotiate with systems and challenges is something that a core objective of this course and has been quite successful in terms of how our learners have worked in the district administration. So these are the broad course tracks and structure of the program. And
Yeah, I mean, I would also like to add on to what Shruti and thank you, Shruti, for like also taking us through the entire 2-year journey and what potentially a learner will go through. But the aim here is to not, for us, is to develop like multiple cohorts of public policy professionals. And we see that, sort of public policy has become like a buzzword and to answer, like to bring back to your question again, Pritha, that what is the distinctive offering that we have, is that, when we are talking about public policy and like how we learn public policy, because, we often look at public policy as a technical issue, like it's a management issue. But oftentimes, and what we are also proposing is that public policy and public policy delivery, for that matter, is an adaptive problem as well. That we need to sort of look at systems, and like when we are diagnosing the systems, we are not only diagnosing it from the perspective of the administrators who are there, but also from the perspective of the communities. We get learners to do like an ethnographic study, and to understand what are the communities, that who are the communities that we are serving, and what are their core issues in terms of accessing public services as basic as healthcare or education or general participating in the democratic process, for that matter, and bring up actionable solutions that can work. There is merit in going through this, because having that contextualized knowledge of what works and what doesn't definitely provides an edge over other public policy programs or other public policy learners, for that matter. And it is right now, we started this off as an experiment, and we see that, there is a translation of this in terms of job opportunities, and also in terms of, being able to pursue higher ed, like academic courses outside of the country and inside. So, like, there is, for those who, like, this is a program for those who really care, and who care about making a difference, for people who have been historically marginalized by the country, by our history, and even and continue to be marginalized, and for those who want to make that kind of difference, and and like build like the last mile, like to leave a legacy of impact. I mean, with that kind of like an intention and purpose, we have built this course. And what we want to build is create a new sort of cohort of public policy professionals who come from a very last mile perspective, which is not there right now. Because if you look at a lot of these courses, I mean, there is like the academic inputs are critical, and I will never take that away from learners. And but mission is also that if you do not have the opportunity to apply those academic learnings in a real time setting, then some learning is lost. So what our submission is also that, like to be in an uncomfortable space, and to do learning and unlearning and apply those learnings, and, develop your own sort of theory and frameworks that are contextualized to the public policy issues of India and even probably South Asia, right? So that is our ask. And we need people to subscribe to this, to see this vision that, we have started this program with, and to be part of the program. And definitely it's going to be, I'm not going to say that it's going to be a very steep learning curve, but it will be like definitely one of the best experiences that a young person could potentially have in this country, whether it is good or bad. There is a lot of intensive learning opportunities that are available here from multiple, and what we are saying is we are really intensifying the learning pitch, which is like we are getting the academic partners to deliver our academic program, but also you're learning from the administrators who, and directly and working under the leadership of the district collector, and working with frontline workers, working with senior development sector professionals who are embedded within the TRI ecosystem. And so it's a lot of learning. and that's also why it takes that 2 years, for it to seep in, to marinate, and to learn. So this is the vision and how we have structured the program, and it is up to the world to tell us if this is worth their time. But we hope definitely that it is.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Gauri. I'm going to briefly go to Shruti a little bit because when she was explaining about the program structure, what also struck my mind was that how do we evaluate? When we are saying that 70%, and it's a pedagogical shift, that what Gauri just said, when we are flipping the script in that sense, and we are now seeing that most of your time is now going to be your experiential learning. You're learning on which is the residency part, which is 70% of your time of this program. So how is this the learning bit sort of evaluated?
That's very interesting because, I mean, moving away from a standard academic program also means moving away from standard forms of evaluation and understanding what facilitates growth in a system. So, with that understanding in mind, we realized that because so much of the learning happens outside a fixed four-wall classroom, we have to adapt our methodology to understand the impact of that learning in the lives of our learners. So there's definitely a sense of evaluation that our learners. So there's one track of evaluation that reporting officers or people, our government counterparts evaluate them on their operations or how they work, which is more on spot, and it's much more frequent and regular in that sense. And there is one evaluation which three of us do as an academic team, which is on the learning of our learner in terms of the papers that we administer and things like that. So I'll just go a little bit into that actually at this point. So our evaluation is of two sorts, formative and summative. So formative evaluation is your day-to-day how you're engaging with the program in terms of are you showing up? How are you showing up? So we do virtual classes, we do workshops. So the mere fact that you show up, you have the attitude to learn, to contribute is also evaluated with our metric, which I don't want to go deeper into it, but that is one part. And also, we administer frequently writing assignments where we give you prompts, and those prompts are essentially thought inducing. These are not core structures, and these are the rubric you have to follow and things like that, because so those are one way of going about it, which is that every 3 months we administer a set of writing prompts, and you try to think about what you're doing in the district administration centered on these prompts. And this is also essentially to help you situate the work that you're doing at the district in larger academic discourses and larger questions of development and policy, and how you are contributing to that discourse. So that is one. Then we also, at the end of the 2 years, we expect our learners to write a dissertation, which is an essential sort of synthesis of all these 3 monthly papers that they have written, and into a compendium, which in principle is a theory of practice. That is, they situate the knowledge, the very tacit knowledge of working in the district administration, into a formal framework which is actionable and which it is replicable for other practitioners, who go into the field. So that is a very important body of work that we get, and we have been getting now for quite for the three cohorts that we have had, and also they work in so many disparate geographies. So so that is one concrete knowledge outcome. So that evaluation is our summative evaluation of evaluating the dissertations and their overall 2 year experience that they situate in writing. So that's on the evaluation bit.
All right, sounds exciting. So I'm going to go to Gauri and probe a little bit upon who are we looking for a little bit. Let's focus on our pool and our candidates for our applications as our application is open right now. So Gauri, is this program suitable for someone seeking a purely academic or a corporate career? Like, what can you lay a little bit more on, like the future a little bit? And I'm going to layer you with a couple of questions, and you can answer in whichever whichever order that you seem fit. The other question is that we do have, as part of our eligibility criteria, that we're looking for 2 years of full-time work experience. Now, when we say that, what kind of prior experience do you think is helpful, and what matters more than experience? So, that is the second question. And the third is, how important are humility, resilience, and comfort with ambiguity in this program? So, over to you.
Right. Thank you, Pritha. And I think there are a lot of questions there, so I'll try and answer as much as I know. And I know that, right now you're playing the role of a passive observer, but essentially this is your work. So you're making me art like yeah. So so Pritha has been anchoring the recruitments for this program and the admissions, and actually she have with the last 3 year cohorts, she has a good experience and understanding of who is the right fit for this program. But since she's asked me this question, so I'll give it an attempt. So basically, what we are looking for is people, and I will start with your last question, like how important is humility, resilience, and an openness to ambiguity? It's very important. And I think it's just like these are things that are very important for life. And, the idea is also that, it is not going to be a cakewalk. And and I don't want to scare anyone who is applying for this. But the idea is that we know, as the program team that has designed this program, that we know it's not a cakewalk, and but we are here to support our learners going through this experience. And what we are looking for is primarily somebody who's open to learn, and who's open to understanding a different geography, different kinds of people, different kinds of communities, their backgrounds, what their experiences are, what are the experiences that the cohort, your peers are having, and your ability to reflect on it, your ability to work in a team where you might not see eye to eye, whether it is respect with ideologies or all the problems that exist in the world. Are you open to talking to people? Are you open to learning? Are you open to learning from people who you might least expect to learn from, right? So that is what we are looking for. And for that, definitely humility is required, resilience is required. And oftentimes when you're working within the bureaucratic scheme of things, you need to be patient as to when these things will happen. You need to be patient with people. You need to be patient with processes. And that is the kind of resilience that we are looking for. And we are here to support you in any way, shape or form, through this whole experience. We will never say that we will put you in the deep end and never throw you a life jacket, but we will, and we are very happy to do that, in fact. So when we are looking for someone who is ideal for this role, is um, someone who's looking, um, I have in my picture, I think there are a lot of young people who are not comfortable with the idea of being pigeonholed into a bucket, whether it's like being an academic or being a practitioner or being like, like nowadays, I think we all want a little bit of everything so that we can experience and make up our minds as to like what is going to be the future, like what is going to be our trajectory. So we are looking for someone who is explorative that way, who is willing to dabble in a little bit of academics and little bit of like, public policy practice, and like and combine the two and have like a holistic experience. And I think for that, what we are looking for is, of course, your propensity to um, learn academically. It is definitely important, but also your ability to get work done. I think that motivation is also very important for this role. And it is because it is a new kind of setup, you have to be definitely open to ambiguity. We are also still building this program, and we are working with our existing 3 cohorts to strengthen this program and strengthen the delivery of this program. But there is going to be, especially because the geographies, like Shruti said, are very disparate, the experiences are very different. And someone who's really up for a challenge and can have fun with it, we are here to sort of support that person. So that is what I would say. And like you also had a question about whether like someone with a purely academic background or a purely corporate career is this like, I mean, I am no one to tell, predict the future. But this program is open to anyone who's like, even from a generalist experience, because we are confident that if you're interested in the issues of public administration, if you're interested in the issues of particularly communities that are living in rural India, we are here to provide all the academic inputs and support that is required for you to do well in your work. So your background, we definitely require someone with 2 to 3 years of experience, because it matters for, like I mentioned, the ability to get work done. I think you should come with that kind of an attitude. And then like, our program is designed to support you from that point. So like, yeah, like for anybody who's has an open mind and who loves a challenge, I think there are some people who would be up for it. And I think this program is catered entirely to them, and to who has the curiosity to explore, to understand, and to learn, to reflect, and to write a lot. And I think Shruti has like said this, and you like, I think our candidates definitely need to know how to write and know how to reflect and learn. And we will also help, and with our prompts and with our structures and with our courses, we will also definitely provide a lot of support to be able to do that. But you have to come with an open mind, most importantly.
Thanks a lot, Gauri. Till now, we have covered a lot of the support that the program team, us three included, sort of provide. Gauri, can you tell us a little bit about the kind of support that learners get during their residency?
Think I will talk about that, but starting with, I think when we talk about, like I mentioned, our geographies are in the Central Eastern Belt, and so the moment someone Googles like a district in Jharkhand or Chhattisgarh, I'm sure like the news is it sounds a little scary, and I would like to first touch upon that, and I feel like during the residency, for our learners, their safety and security is of utmost importance to us. We would never put any of our learners in any harm's way. And I will talk about, while I talk about the support architecture that we have set up for the learners during their residency period. I want to assure everyone that this is a commitment from our end, that if there is any uncertainty of any kind, or like, while of course you're open to ambiguity, we don't want you to go through a bad experience and take that away as your learning. Whether it is like the safety of women, the safety of people belonging to marginalized communities, religious minorities, sexual minorities. We are committed to provide all kinds of strength and all kinds of support to get people through this program. And I say this with confidence because of my experience of having running fellowships in these geographies from 2018. And we have, had, and I've had the fortune of running fellowships with a huge majority of women. And I think that has always been a very proud moment for me. And I think we were been able to do it because of the security architecture that we have set up there. So like how the residency works is, during the residency period, learners will be placed with the district resource cell, which is an office within the district administration. And this district resource cell, and since 2018, because we have been working in these geographies, most of the districts have the district resource cell embedded within the district administration, and it comes under the direct supervision of the district collector. And it is also, the district resource cell is also attached to the line department heads of various departments within the district administration. So essentially, starting from the placement and positioning itself, it's like you're working close to the power center of the district. And that itself, in many cases, our district collectors that we work with have been very kind and generous enough to provide support, and especially in terms of safety and security for our learners. And but again, that is a function of the district and the district collector and things like that. So because it is again like a function of multiple variables, what we have done is, one is, we have institutionalized their role and their positioning within the district. The second is that we have state resource cells placed in each of the state capitals, where we have colleagues from TRI who are working in these at the state level. And they act as their reporting officers, but also as mentors. And typically, they're also had similar fellowship experiences. And we have also established various government partnerships at the state level through liaisoning. And we have also institutionalized the state resource cell at the state level. So we have colleagues who are working there, who are directly engaged with the government at the state level. And apart from that, we also have an similar embedded structure with the central ministries in Delhi as well. In terms of mentorship and support, this architecture essentially becomes our backbone. And our team, which essentially functions separately from this architecture, because we are not placed within the public administration, we are the academic part of our work, and we look at other hygiene issues as well, which, whether if you're looking at like prevention of sexual harassment, grievance redressal, all kinds of we also get insurance done, accidental insurance done for our learners in the field while they are there. So these are some of the things that are existing in our ecosystem to provide support to the learners. And like, of course, there is the academic input and stuff like that. But generally, like how to get work done within the administration and all that understanding and knowledge will come directly from the reporting officers at the state, as well as your district collector or whoever you're reporting to at the district administration. So actually, even in the positioning exercise, we issue a letter sent from the state authorizing the fellows placement in the district within the district resource cell. And I think that is also an important move, because that ensures that you are also, for that 2 year period, you're part of the district administration as well. And apart from that, we have partners working across all of these districts at the community level, at the block levels, who can further, provide support and things like that, who are also seasoned development practitioners. And we have partners who are, TRI right now is one of the largest stakeholder collaborative in the rural space. And we have partners not just who are part of TRI, but also outside of TRI in geographies that where we are not directly present. And because of our the work that TRI has done in the last 10 years, and our ability to navigate these systems and spaces, as well as the communities that we are engaged with, we are very confident to provide learners this kind of like a residency experience, where, and our intention in all good faith is to have a wonderful and cherished experience, and which is the case for all our fellows. I wouldn't expect anything else to happen. But if there is some issue that arises, we are very prompt to act on it. Delhi is just a flight away from Ranchi, Raipur, Bhopal, Lucknow, and we will be there in a moment's notice. I have talked to many parents who have called me worried that their children have taken such a decision. And, but we are very happy to do this, and we are very proactive, and we have also ensured all preventive mechanisms, and to ensure your safety and security, because it's really important to us. So yeah, that's about it.
Okay, thank you so much. I think that's very reassuring to a lot of our listeners who would be watching. I'm going to go to Shruti for a little bit, very briefly. For what is the timeline that we are kind of looking in? So our currently our applications are ongoing. The deadline is on 31st of January 2026, and our program is slated to begin in April. So, very briefly, Shruti, if you can just go through what typically, like from the beginning, from boot camp to like how would the 2 year kind of look like for a learner who starts the journey with us in April.
Program timelines is very centered on the end-to-end journey of the learner with the district's problems and its interventions in place. So to begin with, once you're onboarded as a Praxis learner, we do a elaborate 2-week boot camp, which is essentially, in the first week, we offer public policy as a discipline with its theory, perspectives, and methodology, which involves us teaching you academic theories as well as statistics, economics, and public policy, design, analysis, and communication, and things as such. And in the second week, what we do is we sort of situate policy in India in terms of, and also South Asia, and the specific context in which policy is formulated and implemented in the context of resource-starved geographies in which our learners go in. And also, we also offer a historicity of India's public administration and how it is set up, and which explains what systems and processes look like right now. With this context and perspective in mind, our learners go into their respective state, um, and where they also hold a respective state level inductions, where whereas in the boot camp you get a overview understanding of a little bit abstract on public policy and the systems in place. In the state team, you get a state specific understanding and district specific understandings, and also you're introduced to your three work streams, and deliverables and things as such, and also provided the support for location and placement within your respective districts. So that is essentially the first month, more or less, of the program. And once you're placed into the district, we will provide you reading, writing toolkits in which you can engage with the district in a certain way, things to read upon, things to reflect upon, write upon as such. And once you're doing, so every 3 months we do this. And by the end of the 6 month practicum, which is diagnosis and design for intervention, you come with a specific problem in your district in mind for our 6 monthly workshop. And in this workshop, you come with this problem, which is urgent and enduring problem of the district. And in this 5 day workshop, what we try to do is we try to develop an intervention which addresses and solves for this problem, an intervention which is scalable and sustainable. And a lot of peer review happens in which you refine the intervention design and process in place. And once you go back to your respective district from this workshop, you also present this intervention design to your government counterparts as well as your our state resource teams. And also we do this research colloquium as such, where we present your interventions to all the learners from 3 different cohorts, and our PPIA fellows and respective and development professionals who are embedded within TRI ecosystem. Essentially, the objective is to peer review and refine these interventions and to learn from each other's experiences. So once this design is pretty much refined of your intervention, you set up the systems and processes to implement this intervention. And then, and again, in all of this, in every 3 months, we give you an academic toolkit through which you can situate your experience of working on the intervention within existing frameworks and policy theories as such, as well as contribute to these theories by developing frameworks of your own. And then after 6 months again, we call you and for another workshop in which you refine your intervention and you do another iteration of it. In the last 6 months, we do an impact evaluation and communication workshop. And in this workshop, you essentially come with 5 reflection papers written already. And the idea is to sort of communicate the impact and the learnings of your intervention, what went right, what didn't, and what were your key learnings from this about the system and self as well, into 2 forms, into either words, which we do through presentations and learning about how to present, how to communicate through op-eds and academic writings of sorts, as well as to understand the methodology of evaluation, as well as quantitative forms of communication in terms of we provide you the tools of learning Stata, R, advanced Excel, and to situate your learnings in terms of numbers, but also numbers that are grounded in the context and not aggregated numbers in terms of just complete abstraction, but also context-specific numbers. So that is definitely one aspect. And then finally, after all of this, after you've written your dissertation, you've written your op-eds, you've written your academic papers, you come in the last workshop, which is also the concluding workshop, the convocation of our learners, in which we provide you a set of perspectives on, and this can be frequently revise our curriculum every year, but it can be on environment and climate, on digital governance, and sort of eclectic themes of policy. And which concludes with an official convocation ceremony of our learners, where we invite them to join professions of policy management or government advisory, as well as academic professions as well. So that's the overall timeline from the life cycle perspective of a learner.
All
So
right. Okay, that's lovely to hear. We do also have perspective seminars, right? Every month. So what are those?
yeah, so as a part of the academic course, we do these monthly workshops, monthly virtual seminars actually, which is to situate the learning. It's a perspective on policy and development issues, and it's supposed to help our learners academically situate their experience or working at the administration, because often in the day-to-day deliverables of working in that public system, you forget what is the long-term change, or what is it contributing to in terms of people's lives and systems as well. So the seminars are designed to situate this experience into frameworks and theories, as well as to make one reflect on their experience.
All right, this just sounds very exciting.
Sorry, Pritha.
Yeah,
There is crazy noise in the background.
can you hear?
No, my background.
But we can't hear.
You can't hear any of this.
Nothing.
Dude, an alarm went off, like this honking, and it's crazy.
Couldn't
Shruti,
hear
can you
any.
hear?
No.
No, it's not.
Are you serious? Okay, interesting. Sorry, yeah.
No problem. Take care. We are on the last three portion of it, I think, and then we can conclude. Take care. Um, yeah. Okay, thanks a lot, Shruti. I'm going to go to you, Gauri. Can you detail a little bit about the selection process?
Yeah, okay. Sure. So we have a very rigorous selection process because admissions are competitive to this process, and we do have so we start with like a regular application portal where you have to fit in your like resume details and like a statement of purpose, and is also a letter of recommendation that you need to put in, which basically brings us to help understand whether you uh, fulfill the minimum criteria required for entry in the program, which is 2 to 3 years of work experience, less than 30 years of age, um, and yeah, I think that's about it. And you should have a minimum undergraduate degree you should have completed. So these are our minimum requirements, and we also look at statement of purposes and things like that, because we need to understand that someone is intentionally subscribing to this program, and where we are also looking at people, and what we are looking for in the statement of purpose is also your ability to and your intention to want to take up leadership as a way of life, and how like, and what we are assessing is whether you have a genuine interest in terms of working with the public administration in the rural space, and also what are some of like your leadership. We would like to know about your leadership experience, and this is about understanding you as a candidate more than like an evaluative sort of a thing. So basically, after the initial shortlisting, we put everyone through a psychometric test online, which is largely designed to understand your cognitive abilities, and some behavioral aspects and basic reading, writing, and you don't need any preparation for this, and you can just attempt the test as it is. Like this is becomes like a qualifier round to go to the next round. So after that, basically, we have an offline process which will be conducted in the Hindu College premises, the in Delhi. In the offline process, we have three different rounds. One is the group discussion, where we try and evaluate the candidates' intellectual, social, and emotional maturities through a process called sociometry. And we do a case study presentation. You will be given a case study, and you will have to make a short pitch deck and present it to the panel. And we have the personal interview where the panel will sit with you one on one to again further understand your career journey so far. And again, this is not going to be an overly technical round. So it is none of this. If you come with like 2 to 3 years of experience and you know what you did, and you are able to articulate that well, and I think that should be fine. I mean, none of these rounds require any kind of like intense preparation or anything. So we are just looking for people who, even in the group discussion, we don't usually give like typically what is done is we give a case study that we have with us, and that is shared in the group. And what we are looking at is basically how you are engaging with a group. How are you able to work with a team? Are you able to develop consensus and things like that? It is not about any kind of like national or international issues and or a debate club or any of that. So it is designed because these three there is these three things, and apart from that there is also a writing evaluation, basically because these are the four things that are expected in the program from you. One is your ability to work in teams, which is evaluated in the group discussion. The second is to you need to have very good communication skills, like where you are able to pitch programs, pitch new changes to administrators and other stakeholders. So that's why we have the case study discussion. The interview is just to understand your journey so far, how you like, what are your motivations, what are like what you want to achieve in life, and around that. And then the writing assignment is just to see if you can, because there is so much writing in this program, whether you are able to synthesize from, like, we give a video prompt and we ask you to synthesize and write a policy brief from it. Whereas mostly like helps us understand how you're able to listen, arrange your thoughts and write. That's it. So that is about the entire selection process. After this, we have a reference check, where we do a telephonic conversation with the references, like if you are selected, that is. And then we provide the letter of residency, which authorizes your placement in the district, and you can start your work with the program as soon as possible.
Gauri, I would like to now talk for you to talk a little bit on the program fees and the kind of scholarship and fellowship support that is available. So over to you.
Yeah, so the program fees is 8 lakhs for 2 years, and this is benchmarked with the current, India standards for public policy courses. But most importantly, this covers our delivery costs, like the fees. I think some of this is on our website as well, that the fees largely covers, faculty fees, are the logistics required, like in terms of like training workshops and things like that, and some administrative costs is also included in that. And it also covers some of the residency costs, which incurs which provides for like the entire architecture of support that is required to do the residency bit. And apart from this, we do offer scholarships, which basically is 100% waiver on the fees. I think for those who there is a option in the application form to apply for the scholarship, and our intention is to get with the scholarship as well as, and apart from the scholarship, this year we are also providing stipends, where we can like provide for living costs incurred during the residency. And the stipend comes out to be around 75,000 rupees a month. And our intention with the scholarship and the financial aid that is provided through the fellowships is to and kind like our donors have been very kind to provide this money for us, and we intend to use it very purposefully. And what we believe is we want a cohort that is diverse, that is like if possible from these geographies that we had mentioned earlier, and also other marginalized communities. And we want our intention is for the fee to not be a barrier for learning for motivated candidates. And that is our intention with the financial aid and the scholarship that we are willing to provide. And this has come from precious public resources, so we really want to utilize it very well. So those who are interested in the program and are worried that this might be a barrier for entry, please do apply for we fully encourage everyone to apply for the financial aid and the scholarship available. And this would be given to selected students depending on the application and the discretion of the selection committee.
I would like to go more on how to avail the financial support. So if you go to our website, and we have detailed this bit more there, right now you don't have to pay anything. Our application process is entirely free and will remain so. It's just that on the last section of our application process, the application form, there's a section that will ask you on whether you would like to avail financial support. So all you have to do there is click yes or no. After you are selected for the program team will reach out to you regarding the payments and how and what is your preference for it. We do have an entire section on our priority, people who we consider priority candidates for this program. From a very diversity and inclusive lens, and you can check that out on our website. And again, basis on those parameters and whatever payment structures that you will be comfortable with, the program team will reach out to you and will personally see, will guide you through the entire process. That's about it for the financial support. If you have any other further questions, please feel free to write to us. You can also schedule a conversation with us on our website. So feel free to use that opportunity to get in touch with us for whatever questions that you may have. We'd be happy to support you. So yeah, that's it. Just this video is far too long, and we are now going towards the end of it. And yeah, I would now like to go to Gauri a little bit now that we sort of have an understanding about the program, right from where it came from, where it began, to how it transitioned, to the program structure that Shruti sort of laid down, and kind of, what is the process like for the application and financial support. We now go to the bit about what is the kind of pipeline or the kind of future that the program, what kind of support with regards to placement does the program provide? So over to you, Gauri, regarding that.
Yeah, so typically, I think we have some information like there is a fellowship pipeline that already exists, and now we are sort of layering it with this a very rigorous academic program. We have identified those pipelines, and most of it is generally. There are consulting organizations, especially who are very keen to hire from this group. And also, generally, policy people who are engaged in public policy, our partners who are engaged in policy. And we are confident that, currently, like I mentioned earlier, TRI is one of the largest stakeholder collaborative in the rural development space. And particularly in the policy space, currently we have around 72 government partnerships. And I think, we are very confident of also absorbing some of the people who are exiting from this program in TRI as well. Of course, that's a function of the resources and vacancies that are available nearer to the exit. But we are also keen on looking for internal hiring, but as well as we have partners who will be keen to hire as well, largely in the policy development consulting space is where we are looking at placing people. And also the larger CSR kind of like an engagement, or depending on what individual interests are, people are also keen to pursue masters abroad. There are many of the previous in our previous cohorts, there are people who have gotten accepted at the leading academic institutions of the world, like Oxford and SOAS and and others. So we are more than happy to write a glowing recommendation to those who are keen on doing it. And I think this experience itself is so distinctive and so unique, that there is a market for this, even in the job or in the academic space. So let's we are very keen to explore that, and we are very keen to place people in these places. Yeah.
All right, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Gauri and Shruti. With that, we conclude this extremely long video. And thank you for joining us. We look forward to your applications. And yeah, that's about it from our end. See you.
Yeah, we are also very keen to get to knowing you through the application process as well. I want to say, also leave you with the fact that the application process is designed as a self-selection tool and not anything else. So we are very excited to meet young people who are seeing a merit in this program. We already have some applications lined up. So we are very excited to get more and get to meet you in person, and get a chance to know your career trajectory, how we can support you in your growth, and also you get to understand what the program from us, our end as well. So looking forward to a wonderful next 2 years, I guess.
Great. So thank you so much for joining in, and we look forward to meeting you. So that's it from our end, and
Bye. Thank you, everyone.
bye.
Bye.